Today we're going to look at this kinematics problem. We have a car that starts from rest and accelerates uniformly at 3 meters per second squared for 6 seconds. It then continues at its new constant velocity for another 10 seconds. There's a finish line that's located 230 meters from where the car started. Determine whether the car reaches the finish line during the 16-second trip. The first thing we want to do in this problem is to understand the scenario. And to understand the scenario, it really helps to sketch out the situation. So here we have a car that is moving to the right, and here is our finish line right here. And initially, the car has a velocity of 0. And it's very important when you work on these problems to indicate your positive direction. I'm going to indicate right positive, and that positive direction is arbitrary. So we could have set left positive or right positive. So it is arbitrary, but you do need to set a positive direction and then stick with that. So in this problem, we have a car that is starting from rest and accelerates uniformly. What does that mean? Uniformly means that its acceleration is constant. And it does that for 6 seconds, but then after 6 seconds, it continues at constant velocity. So once it reaches a certain speed at 6 seconds, it's going to continue at that set speed for another 10 seconds. And that finish line is 230 meters away. And the question is, will this car reach that finish line? To help us solve this kinematics problem, we're going to create a kinematics chart. And the reason we create this chart is because it's very easy to get confused with all these numbers. So I'm looking here and I see all these numbers. And so the kinematics chart helps us to organize these numbers. And typically this chart will have the following variables: the displacement, delta x, or the change in position, the initial velocity, vi, the final velocity, vf, the acceleration a, time t, and sometimes the variables might be written slightly different, like vi, you might see it as v naught or v0, but basically you're going to see these variables in this chart. The next step is to fill out this chart using the information that you've been given. So let's see here, we're starting from rest so that the initial velocity is 0. We have an acceleration of 3, so that goes here, 3 meters per second squared, and it travels for 6 seconds for the first part of the trip. So our time is 6 seconds here. Now, we need to know a couple things here. We're going to need to know the final velocity at the end of 6 seconds, because it continues at that velocity for another 10 seconds. But we also need to know how far does it travel. That's going to be the displacement. How far does it travel during the 6 seconds? So we can solve for either of these first. So let's go ahead and solve for the displacement first. The next challenge for students here is to know, well, which kinematic equation am I going to use? Because usually you're given these 4 kinematic equations, and here's a kinematics equation chart to help you determine which equation to use. So here's the basic method. So look back at your variables chart here, and you'll notice that there's one variable that's not being used. Like this variable final velocity, you're not given that. You're not asked to find it. Well, at least we're not going to find it right now. And so that is the clue. That's the key to figuring out which equation to use. So VF is not involved in this first part of the calculation. So we're going to go to our chart. You find VF, you go down, you find the box that's shaded, which just means that this equation right here does not have VF. Okay, so all these equations have 4 variables, and it's missing one of the variables that you see on this chart. In this case, it's missing the final velocity variable, right? So we're going to use this equation right here, and then we're going to substitute the numbers that we have. So we're going to use the equation delta x equals vit plus 1 over 2 at squared. Since the initial velocity is 0, this part of the equation is just 0, and we get 1 over 2 times 3 times 6 squared. Don't forget the squared, and we get 54 meters. So for the first part of the trip, this car is going to travel for 54 meters. Next, we're going to look for the final velocity at the end of 6 seconds, because remember that in the second part of the trip, it's going to be traveling at the speed for 10 seconds. To find the final velocity, we can actually use any of these kinematic equations that has VF in it because we know the numbers for all the other variables. So I'm going to use equation number 1, VF equals VI plus AT. We know that the car started with the initial velocity of 0 because it started from rest. So VI is 0. The acceleration is 3 meters per second squared, and the time that it travels for is 6 seconds. So VF is equal to 3 times 6, and we get 18 meters per second. Next, it's going to be moving at constant velocity for 10 seconds. So what is the equation that we're going to use here? Which kinematic equation? Well, actually, you don't need any of these kinematic equations. You can just remember delta x equals vt because that's the equation we use for constant velocity. But if you don't remember this equation, you can actually derive this from the kinematic equation. If you go to equation number 2 here, delta x equals vit plus 1 over 2 at squared, remember that constant velocity has an acceleration of 0. And so if you plug in 0 for a, you end up with delta x equals vit, which is delta x equals vt, which is our constant velocity equation. So now we're going to plug in the velocity that's traveling, which is 18 meters per second. Remember, it's going at constant, so you just have one velocity here. And the time that's traveling at 18 meters per second is 10 seconds. So the displacement or the distance that it travels here is going to be 180 meters. Now, remember, our question here is to figure out whether or not it's going to reach this finish line at 230 meters. And so we're going to add 54 meters, that was the first part of the trip, to 180 meters, which is the second part of the trip. So our total distance, 54 meters plus 180 meters, and we get 234 meters. All right, let's take a look at part B. If the car does reach the finish line, how much further does the car travel beyond the finish line sign? So now we're just going to subtract the distance of the finish line sign from the distance that the car travels. So the car travels 234 meters, and we're going to subtract 230 meters, and we get 4 meters. So I would like to leave you with a challenge problem. Instead of the car going past the finish line, I want you to see if you can figure out what change you can make to the problem, maybe 1 or 2 changes to the problem, so that the car ends up at the finish line. Okay, so you can change the number, you can change the time, you could change the acceleration or the initial velocity, but we want to keep the distance the same. So a distance of 230 meters. What 1 or 2 changes can you make to the problem so that at the end of the trip that the car is exactly at the finish line, 230 meters from where the car started? And then let me know in the comments. Also, if you need more resources or help with learning physics, check out the description.